Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome to Coming Soon. This week we're going to be talking about the comeback of a classic skateboarding series, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Now, if you guys haven't watched one of my other Coming Soon episodes, then basically my goal here is to help you see one way or another if this is a game you're interested in by giving you an overview of the story, gameplay, multiplayer, extras, and systems before winding down with some of my predictions about the game, what the community is saying about the game, and then wrap it up with my overall thoughts. But without any more introduction, let's start off by discussing Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5's story. From everything I've seen, this game doesn't seem to have a story. Tony Hawk himself said the game is more focused on challenges, missions, and things of the like, instead of trying to tell a narrative. That doesn't mean the game won't have some sort of story, but I've seen nothing about it, and I don't think they've released anything about it. Gameplay is focused around returning to the classic feel of the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. This means a return to the controller instead of an outside peripheral device. It's said that the game will play almost identical to the past THPS games, with the addition of a few new features to get used to. First is that the grind button is now a slam down button if held in the air. This means that whenever you hit the triangle or Y button in the air, you'll drop straight down to the ground from wherever you are in the air at the time. This will work well with keeping the game at a fast pace, as it allows you to slam down on rails or corners and course correct your board in hairy situations to keep your combos alive. Second is pushing. In the past, THPS games have had you hold down the X button or the Ollie button to increase your speed, but now you'll have the ability to kick off and push yourself to speed. Finally is the ability to pretty much stop on a dime, allowing you to better control the direction your character is headed. Neither the pushing mechanic nor the stop on a dime mechanic seem that important, but the slam down mechanic will be your main adjustment and seems to be of big importance in this game. Also, you now have control of when to activate your special bar, unlike in past games. In addition to these new mechanics, there will also be some power-ups which can be used in various scenarios and even some projectiles used in specific missions. The only power-ups that I've seen used was a winged board that was picked up in one of the gameplays and seemed to give the player some sort of double jump. In terms of projectiles, I've seen no gameplay as to where they might be used. People who've played the game have apparently noted that they've played a mission where you throw dodgeballs, and if you look at this gameplay, you can see both a soccer ball icon and a football icon, so I assume these will be the types of missions with projectiles. There also seems to be a mechanic that allows your skateboard to take on elements that you skate over, such as fire and electric. It's stated that these will allow you to access different tricks, but what kind of tricks isn't specified.
What's going on with the electricity right now?
Well, it'll let you access different modes, different tricks, and better scores.
As to what you'll be doing with these new tricks, as stated, the game seems to take a classic approach to THPS and has you doing things like missions, modes, and collections. Missions will be available in every area and presumably will most consist of doing specific tricks in specific ways, beating a set score goal in a time limit, or keeping a combo alive to reach a set score goal. Modes will consist of things like Quick Match, High Score, Death Match, Combo Score, Big Head, and King of the Hill, and seem to be mainly for multiplayer purposes. And finally, collections will consist of collecting things in a level, such as holding a combo and collecting the letters of combo, collecting the letters of skate, or just grabbing a hidden DVD. Outside of that, there will be the addition of creating your own skater and creating your own skate park. We haven't seen anything on the create a skater options, but here's hoping they're expansive. As for the course creator, we've seen a bit of gameplay, and it was stated that you'll be able to create a level based on a template of other levels that are available in THPS 5 and set up your own skate props wherever you want. There seems to be a total of 8 levels available to you in the game, including the Barracks, Bonfire Beach, School 3, Mega Parks, Rooftops, the Bunker, Asteroid Belt, and quote-unquote level, so I assume these are the themes you'll be able to use in your created levels. These creative courses can be posted online for others to download and play, which brings us to what seems to be the main focus of the game, the multiplayer. Robomoto seems to really be pushing multiplayer in this one. In all the interviews and developer discussions that I've watched and read, they seem to go over this feature. By default, all levels that you jump into will be online, with the option to shut off the online component through the menus. All levels will be hosted on dedicated servers with a 20-player max in any given lobby. In this lobby, you'll have the option to basically just go about your business while other players go about theirs in a sort of free skate, or you can interact with other players by playing modes and missions together. You can do this by accessing the mission, and a prompt will appear on the other player's screens in the lobby, allowing them to accept or decline your challenge. I've got two things for extras to talk about in this game. First is the available skaters that are confirmed to be in the game, including, and I'm sorry if I mess up on any of these names, Tony Hawk, Lizzie Armanto, Letisa Buffoni, Chris Cole, David Gonzalez, Riley Hawk, Aaron Homoki, Nyjah Houston, Aaron Reynolds, and Ishad Ware. On top of these confirmed skaters, Tony Hawk games are also known for their unlockable skaters, and in Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5 trailer, we get some glimpses of possible unlocks like a sea captain and what appears to be a caveman in this screenshot, and a little later what appears to be Officer Dick in this screenshot. It's possible that these are just character costumes, but in an interview when asked about the possible unlocks in the game, Tony Hawk said that they would be in there, so it's safe to assume that these are unlockable characters. The final thing I'd like to talk about is the soundtrack. The soundtrack has been confirmed via Twitter to have a total of 32 songs on it, including Stars and Stripes by Anti-Flag, Southsiders by Atmosphere, Hipster Shakes by Black Pistol Fire, Milkman by Bully, I'm Not Part of Me by Cloud Nothings, A Little Death to Laugh by Cold Cave, International Hustler by Connie Prince and the Keystones, All 149 by Crass Mammoth, Degenerate Mind by Deaf Poets, Keep On Knocking by Death, Virgins by Death From Above 1979, When the Wolves Come Out by Dear Mother, Mini Brute by Doomtree, Rorschach by Fake P, Raised by Wolves by Family Force 5, Go Down in History by 4 Years Strong, Moment to Myself by Harlan, Our Ritual by 100 Visions, Highline by Hungry Hands, Cynics and Critics by Icon for Hire, Wings of a Feather and Wax by Killer Be Killed, Everywhere I Go by New Politics, Black Sap Scriptures by Plague Vendor, Skate Rock by Rat Black, Cream on Chrome by Ratatat, Little Monster by Royal Blood, Rat Trap by the Schizophrenics, Secrets by State Champ, Shelter Song by Temples, Who Needs You by the Orwalls, Bad Things Are Bad by the Sheds, and finally Burial by Yogi and Skrillex featuring Pusha T, Moody Good, and Trollface. That was a hard list to get through, so I'm sorry if I messed up on anything in that list. But those are the soundtrack songs. The game will be coming to PlayStation 4 and Xbox One on September 29th, 2015, then to PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 shortly after on November 10th, 2015. Pre-ordering the game at various locations will give you access to different bonuses, such as the Eagle Shield board from Best Buy, the Hawk Skull board from Amazon, and if you pre-order the game from GameStop, you'll get the 80s Tony Hawk character skin, 80s-inspired Birdhouse board, and Tony Hawk's Anti-Gravity board. In addition to these pre-order bonus incentives, you'll also get bonus content if you play on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 3, with a Ratchet, Sweet Tooth, and Sackboy head options available for your custom skater. So it looks like if you have all the options in the world and you want to pre-order this game, you'll want to get it for the PlayStation 3 or PlayStation 4 and get it from GameStop since they offer 3 items. For my predictions on the game, I'm not really sure what to say about it. I haven't played a Tony Hawk Pro Skater game since Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 back on the Dreamcast, so the series is kind of a blur to me right now. I did play Tony Hawk's Underground 2 on both the PSP and the GameCube, but that was also a long time ago, and I don't think Robomoto designed either one of those games. Robomoto definitely seems to be wanting to take this game back to its roots, and they talk about it a lot in their interviews that I've seen. But by roots, I believe they mean mostly Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2. The other big draw that they like to talk about is the multiplayer. And for me personally, I just don't see the benefit of having a 20-person skate park, especially if they include collision, like they've discussed before. I also don't see how co-op missions are going to work. Let's say you have a full 20-player lobby, and you invite everyone to a mission where the goal is to get 1 million points in like 5 minutes or something like that. If you have all 20 people doing a mission that is designed to be capable for one person, then the mission is just going to be ridiculously easy. So they have to have everybody just try to get 1 million points on their own? That really wouldn't be co-op and just doesn't... It's basically just playing in the same lobby together at that point. What they could do is have the goal be like 20 million points in 5 minutes, with each person responsible for getting 1 million points respectively. But we've seen no gameplay on how co-op works that I've read or seen, so I really don't understand it. This brings me to another point, which is the lack of gameplay that we've seen for this game. Usually during my studying of a game for coming soon episodes, I have a ton of gameplay and demos and trailers to go through, but with this game, I've only really seen, I'd say, about 8 minutes of total actual gameplay. That seems to be exceptionally low for how soon the game is going to be releasing. I understand that gameplay is supposed to be harkening back to the old style of play, so you should already know how it feels for the most part, but the biggest issue is the lack of gameplay for the multiplayer, which is so heavily discussed. The fact that the multiplayer really hasn't been shown leaves so many questions unanswered, and it just makes me wary about this game. As for what the community is saying about the game, it's pretty negative, to be honest with you. An overwhelming amount of people just want Skate 4 instead. Some people don't like the graphics and the saturation of colors. Some people saying it's unrealistic, which they dislike. And then there's some people that are just excited to get another skateboarding game to play. So I kind of already gave my final thoughts in the predictions part of the video, so I'll just say this about the game to wrap things up. This looks like a very arcade kind of skateboarding game. It's going to bring back a lot of the old elements from classic Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, and if you remember those games fondly, then this may be the game for you. On the other hand, if Tony Hawk games series kind of jumped the shark with games like Ride and Shred, then this one may not be enough to pull you back in. So that is it, guys. I'd like to thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my analysis of this upcoming game. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, then be sure to like and subscribe. The next game I plan on doing this, barring any delays, is Dragon Quest Heroes, The World Tree's Woe, and The Blight Below, which is scheduled to come out October 13th, so the video would come out on September 13th. Thanks again for watching, and I hope to see you all in my next video.